Amos chapter 6. Woe to them that are at ease in Zion, and trust in the mountain of Shomeron, which are named chief of the nations, to whom the house of Yashar'el came. Pass ye unto Calneh, and see, and from thence go to Shamath the great, then go down to Gath of the Peshalim. Be they better than the kingdoms, or their border greater than your border? Ye that put far away the evil day, and cause the seat of violence to come near, that lie upon beds of ivory, and stretch themselves upon their couches, and eat the lambs out of the flock, and the calves out of the midst of the stall, that chant to the sound of the viol, and invent themselves instruments of music, like David, that drink wine in bowls, and anoint themselves with the chief ointments, but they are not grieved for the affliction of Yosef. Therefore now shall they go captive with the first that go captive, and the banquet of them that stretch themselves shall be removed. Adonai Yahuah has sworn by himself, says Yahuah the Elohai Sevayo. I abhor the excellency of Yaakov, and hate his palaces. Therefore will I deliver up the city with all that is therein. And it shall come to pass, if there remain 10 men in one house, that they shall die. And a man's uncle shall take him up, and he that burns him, to bring out the bones out of the house, and shall say unto him that is by the sides of the house, Is there yet any with you? And he shall say, No. Then shall say, Hold your tongue, for we may not make mention of the name of Yahuah. For, behold, Yahuah commands, and he will smite the great house with breaches, and the little house with clefts. Shall horses run upon the rock? Will one plow there with oxen? For ye have turned judgment into gall, and the fruit of righteousness into hemlock. Ye who rejoice in a thing of naught, which say, Have not taken to us horns by our own strength? But, behold, I will raise up against you a nation, O house of Yashar'el, says Yahuah the Elohai Sevayo. And they shall afflict you from the entering into one of Shamath unto the river of the wilderness. Amos chapter 7. Thus has Adonai Yahuah showed unto me, and behold, he formed grasshoppers in the beginning of the shooting up of the latter growth. And lo, it was a latter growth after the king's mowings. And it came to pass, when they had made an end of gathering the grass of the land, then I said, O Adonai Yahuah, forgive, I beseech you, by whom shall Yaakov arise? For he is small. Yahuah repented for this. It shall not be, says Yahuah. Thus says Adonai Yahuah, showed unto me. And behold, Adonai Yahuah called to contend by fire, and it devoured the great deep, and did eat up a part. Then said I, O Adonai Yahuah, cease, and I beseech you, by whom shall Yaakov arise? For he is small. Yahuah repented for this. This also shall not be, says Adonai Yahuah. Thus he showed me, and behold, Adonai stood upon a wall made by a plumbline, with a plumbline in his hand. And Adonai said unto me, Amoc, what do you see? And I said, A plumbline. Then said Adonai, Behold, I will set a plumbline in the midst of my people Yashar'el. I will not again pass by them any more. And the high palaces of Yitschaq shall be desolate, and the sanctuaries of Yashar'el shall be laid waste. And I will rise against the house of Yarov'am with the sword. Then Amatsayu, the priest of Bethel, sent to Yarov'am, king of Yashar'el, saying, Amoc has conspired against you in the midst of the house of Yashar'el. The land is not able to bear all his words. For thus Amoc says, Yarov'am shall die by the sword, and Yashar'el shall surely be led away captive out of their own land. Also Amatsayu said unto Amoc, O you seer, go flee away in the land of Yehudah, and there eat bread and prophesy there. But prophesy not against any more at Bethel, for it is the king's chapel, and it is the king's court. Then answered Amoc and said unto Amatsayu, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. And Yahuah took me as I followed the flock. And Yahuah said unto me, Go prophesy unto my people Yashar'el. Now therefore, hear you the word of Yahuah. You say, Prophesy not against Yashar'el, and drop not your word against the house of Yitschaq. Therefore, thus says Yahuah, your women shall be a harlot in the city, and your sons and your daughters shall fall by the sword, and your land shall be divided by line, and you shall die in a polluted land, and Yashar'el shall surely go into captivity forth of his land.